Hi everyone, welcome to my channel and thank you for watching. Today I'm going to talk about myself a little bit more and what exactly it is that I do and what is an energy healer, because you'll be hearing me talk about that throughout my videos, or if I'm sharing my podcasts here. And I just wanted to get into a bit deeper about that. But before I can talk about what an energy healer is, I just wanted to go over my notes on what exactly is energy. And I wanted to say that we ourselves, we are energy. And what is energy? The ancient Greek word for energy was energia, which means activity or operation. It's a modern scientific word that physics interprets it as a force that has to move through a length of space. Before the current word energy, scientists used to call it vis viva, which is Latin for the living force. And in Eastern understanding, this force is known as prana, which is Sanskrit, chi in Japanese, chi in Chinese, and ki in Japanese. In ancient Taoism, the original force is known as wu qi, which is stillness, nothingness. This is where everything originated, also known as dark matter, dark energy in the West, and it is everywhere. In Taoist interpretation, there's only 4% of what that is, and that is 4% of this reality that we see, this 3D world, which is the physical, the material, and the atoms. The 96% is that force, that wu qi, or the dark matter. This living force is connected to everything, and awareness of this will connect us all as well. All matter contains energy. Everything that surrounds us operates on energy. And from the perspective of activation, why do we need to know this energy? Because we ourselves, we are energy. To activate means bringing awareness back to this original state for us to activate our bodies. We are here to do all that is necessary to manifest within this body activation, to awaken to our original state, which is energy. And myself, I got into energy healing with this understanding, and I wanted to learn more about this 96% that the Taoists were talking about that we don't see in our reality. And it is this abstract world that we can all tap into, and we can all have access to it. And for all of us, from toddlers to adults, we are always experiencing energy and we are interpreting it. And we are in constant exploration, right? Until, however, we start to experience what is interpreted in our reality as negative. And then energies we manifest as in fear, and that hold us back from our exploration. And this keeps us from our inner growth, and it creating stagnation in our bodies, in our mind, and our spirit. And many of us, including myself, we've had traumatic experiences maybe in our childhood that just blocks us from certain growth, be it emotional growth. So for me, working with energy and delving into this abstract world helped me really to focus on my traumas, to really delve deeper into things that trigger me and bring me back to, let's say, my panic attacks or anxiety attacks that I used to have regularly in the past. And I also was seeing how this negativity, this negative energy just keeps to thrive, and it likes to stay constant, especially within our body. And it has a way of cultivating such an environment within our body and restoring itself. And the list of things are like hatred, anger, fear, resentment, worry, stress, conflict. Sometimes it could be white sugar, alcohol, drugs, which can be alkaloid, that are mimic as alkaloids in our body, toxic chemicals, shallow breathing, even tap water. Like, these are things that act as negative energies within a body, within our physical body. And by transmuting that, meaning I'm shifting it and changing it within my body, I look and see to harmonize myself with positive energies. And the positive energies are happiness, courage, virtue, hope, friendships, laughter, deep breathing, orgasms, green juice, chlorophyll, spring from the source, medicinal herbs, and the list can go on. And of course, the biggest one of all of that is love, right? And this love that emanates within all of us, and we're capable of having, feeling love and also extending love to others. So for me, learning to be a healer was a self act of love for me, because I was going into dark places and I was sending love to such places through my energy healing. And once I was able to work on myself, it was almost like I was building a blueprint and a map. And it's like, now, okay, I can do that for others, right? And I'm such a type of healer where I want others to both learn and also experience a healing. So I don't want people to constantly keep coming back to me as clients, for years and years and years. I just want people to know that anything that I'm helping them with and I'm anchoring into their body, they're capable of doing it for themselves. And when we have a session, I'm getting permission from their higher self. I'm getting permission from that person. And basically, I'm acting as an external vessel, but the person that requested me is doing all the healing work. And how I kind of jumped into this world in many years ago was really reluctantly. I never wanted to be a healer. I never really wanted to be different. And I think that's the stance for many people that I've met in my life that are also healers. We don't want to be different. We just want to be normal. So I used to experience and sense people's, I'm more like a clairsentient. So I can sense people's pain that they're not sharing with anyone. And as a child, I used to cry a lot because I would feel and see things all the time. And it was overwhelming my senses, right? So for me, it was hard to just balance my emotions and to feel really comfortable in my body. I also was raised and grew up in a household. My grandmother is a Sufi healer in my home country in Somalia. So in Somalia, there's many people that practice sort of like the ancient arts of healing. And it's usually in the context through Sufism, which is sort of like the Kabbalah of Islam. And Kabbalism is connected with Judaism. So it's the mystical form, the mystical path of Islam. And for me, seeing my grandmother meditating, seeing her using smoke, chanting mantras, having ritual sessions when in my youth, it was very unique experience, because when I would ask around with my peers that also came from the same background as me, they would kind of look at me perplexed and be like, what are you talking about? So I knew that was kind of unique. And I started to pursue it more the older that I got. I exposed myself through meditation in the early to mid 2000s through Buddhism. I joined many meditation groups when I was growing up in my home city in Toronto. And Toronto was sort of like a hub. If there were major organizations that I would find online that had like international offices, like let's say like a meditation group, I would most likely find it in a major city like Toronto. They would most likely be there. So for me, getting exposure to different healers and different paths because of my location was very easy. And this was the time before YouTube. It was the time before a lot of this stuff now is more mainstream. It wasn't that mainstream when I was starting out on it. And again, I was very reluctant to pursue it because there was no context in my community for the kind of person that I was. I was a bit of an outcast to begin with anyway, starting out. So I further, pushed myself out of the community. Like I was very unrelatable. And now it's sort of the norm. So there's more people now and sort of, joining the New Age movement, learning about energy and affirmations and all that kind of stuff. And the wave really started with that film that all of us kind of saw with The Secret, and it just opened up so many things. For me, it really I wanted to delve in more deeper into learning the esoteric and the occult. And the word occult just means hidden. So I wanted to learn more about the hidden paths. I got my training as a pranic healer in the city that I'm living in right now, in Calgary. And prana, like I said, is a Sanskrit word for energy. The teacher that I found through this path, his name is Master Choa Kaksui, and he actually is from Cebu, Philippines, which is, ironically the same city that my son's father is from. So he's a Filipino, and he's originally from Cebu. But before we got together, I had to first meet my teacher, my spiritual teacher. And my teacher, he physically already left this world in the late 2000s. So when I came to Calgary and I was training in pranic healing, it was my mentor that was showing and training me in pranic healing. But I was able to meet and see the teacher, the founder of pranic healing, in an astral dream and even in a vision when I was in the meditation room. So I knew this was like sort of like a strange path, but I also knew I had like this inclination, this inner pull that I needed to learn, that I needed to study it. And I'm grateful that I did, because it just opened up so many opportunities for me. I got to even go and live in Cebu for a year. And that's where my son was conceived. I was pregnant there up to 5 months before leaving and giving birth to him in the States. So I did, and I do actively practice as a healer, and I have been for many years. Now I've been living in Calgary for almost 6 years, I think. And it's just, the community here is very open, to healers. And we have many healers in the city, many amazingly talented healers, and each in their own capacity. So being exposed to that, for me, that connection meant a lot. And of course, this is a place that's considered a vortex site, meaning it's a high energy space, much like it would be like Mount Shasta or Sedona or Stonehenge. And if anyone wants to learn more about that, you can look up grid lines or ley lines and vortex sites. So Calgary, the city that I'm living in, and also the area called Banff, these two sites are considered vortex sites, right? And for me, going there, even just for like the weekend, to just get away from the city, it is so rewarding, because I'm able to restore my prana, I'm able to restore my energy, and to feel that inner stillness, the harmony, the balance that our body naturally has. Like, we naturally are that way. But what takes us away from that is our lifestyle, probably the cities that we live in, the stressful jobs that we work at. And that's why for people, it's wonderful to have a discipline, just like brushing your teeth. It should be just as important to restore your energy, be it through frequency music, meditation. Like, everyone is different in how they do it. Some people can sit and do meditation very easily, like that works for their body. There's other people that are restless and they need to dance. They need to like get that energy out of their body. Other people like sound therapy. People like me, I love crystal therapy. I feel like it feeds and nourishes me, and I feel restored. And I'm transmuting, negative energies within my body. So I hope that explains a little bit about my background and how I got into to all of this as an energy healer. And, from my studying to my practicing of this, I think it's been close to 18 years. And that's how many years of experience I bring to to my clients or to anyone that I interact with. And I decided to create these segments to just share my journey and to instill that, you know, I guess you can call it that curiosity to others. I want others from, you know, similar background as me to learn about this and to know that this is really interesting and it's actually pretty cool. And also for just anyone else that's have been on this path for many years and they want to connect with a like mind, you know, they want to connect with someone that is just very similar, like-minded, and, you know, have like a soundboard off of each other with ideas. So I hope my videos inspire you. I hope they are able to get you connected with yourself, get you connected with source, and you're able to feel that centeredness that we're always seeking. And I hope inspires you to go seek it out if you feel like you're not in your center. So thank you again for watching, and I look forward to connecting and making more videos like this.